Hello students, myself Sarita, biology lecturer, Government Girls Senior Secondary School, Jandiala. Today we will study DNA fingerprinting, its procedure and its applications. So, what is DNA fingerprinting, also known as DNA profiling? It is a technique used by the scientists to distinguish between individuals of the same species and using samples of their DNA. Here, the DNA that is used is satellite DNA. It is utilized as a probe that shows very high degree of polymorphism. So uh, uh, these parts which show high degree of polymorphism, they are known as VNTRs. That means variable number of tandem repeats. The process of DNA fingerprinting was invented by Alec Jeffrey, who was a British genetist, in the year 1985. So now we will study the various steps which are involved in the process of DNA fingerprinting. First step is cells are broken down to release the DNA. Then if there is a small amount of DNA is available, in some cases only small amount of DNA is available, so it has to be amplified using PCR, that is polymerase chain reaction, in which the amount of DNA is amplified. Next step is DNA is cut into fragments by using restriction enzymes. Each restriction enzymes, they cut DNA at specific sequence. So various sizes of DNA are obtained. The sections of DNA are cut out are called restriction fragments. This yields thousands of restriction fragments and they are of different sizes, because the base sequences being cut may be far apart or they may be close to one another. So it depends where the restriction enzymes they cut the DNA. Now the third step is fragments are separated on the basis of their size using the process of gel electrophoresis. Gel electrophoresis means current is passed and there is a movement of the DNA fragments. So this is a gel electrophoresis. Here agarose is taken and these are the wells in which the DNA samples are placed. DNA fragments of different sizes they are placed here, and the medium is agarose, and this is anode side positive, this is the cathode. So DNA has negative charge due to the phosphates. So when electric current is passed, the DNA fragments they start moving on the agarose gel. The heavier DNA means the one with the length which have high length which are lengthy or have high more weight, they are at the back, whereas the smaller fragments they move towards the anode. According to the size, the DNA fragments separate. DNA fragments moves in the agarose gel. Now the next step, Then these segments, they are transferred to the nitrocellulose paper or nylon paper. Because this agarose gel is fragile, it can break easily, therefore it has to be transferred on the nitrocellulose paper. Nitrocellulose paper is taken and it is placed on the agarose gel, and all the DNA pieces, they move to the nitrocellulose paper. Now the next step is transferring of the separated fragments on the nitrocellulose paper. After that, there will be hybridization using labeled VNTR probes. So these probes, they are radioactively labeled. They combine with the DNA fragments to produce a fluorescent image. There will be complementary base sequences will form. Suppose if it is ATC on the probe, then it will bind with the DNA which is having TAG. So the complementary bases will match each other. Photographic, this X-rays will be used and it will be placed on the nitrocellulose sheets, and then photographic copy of the DNA bands is obtained. Then the pattern of the fragments distribution is analyzed and the X-rays are seen. Now this is the complete process of DNA fingerprinting. Here blood sample is taken from the site where the DNA is to be seen. It can be hair, it can be blood, mainly hair from the cells from the root follicles, hair follicles are taken, blood, the WBCs are taken, or tissue or semen is taken. Then by the method, if the sample is less than by a means of PCR, it is amplified to produce a large number of DNA copies. Then DNA is extracted from the blood cells. That means they are isolated, isolation of the DNA. Then there is a digestion of the DNA by restriction enzymes, mostly E. coli, EcoR1 is used, and DNA is broken into small these fragments. Now then DNA fragments are separated, placed on the electrophoresis in a medium of agarose gel, placed on the wells with the help of a pipette. Then electric current is passed. DNA fragments, they move according to their size. DNA fragments are separated into bands during the electrophoresis. So the DNA band pattern on the gel is transferred to the nylon membrane. So this is a nylon membrane. It is placed on the agarose gel, where all the DNA will move to the nitrocellulose sheet. This is known as southern blotting after the name of the scientist. Now the next step is the radioactive DNA probe is prepared with the known sequences. Then DNA probe binds to specific DNA sequences on the membrane with the DNA that is present on the nitrocellulose paper. Excess of DNA probe is washed. Now at this stage, radioactivity probe is bound to the DNA pattern on the membrane. So there is a process of hybridization. Now X-ray film is placed on next to the membrane to detect the radioactive pattern. The radioactive patterns, they are studied. This X-ray film is developed, which makes the visual pattern of the bands, which is known as DNA fingerprinting. Now with the help of a photography, the hybridized bands, they can be obtained on the X-ray film. So this is the complete process or the steps of DNA fingerprinting. Now DNA fingerprinting is utilized for the various purposes. It is used to solve the crimes and medical problems. Forensic science is the use of scientific knowledge in the legal situations. DNA profile of each individual is highly specific. It differs from individual to individual in a population, but in case of monozygotic twins, they may be identical. The chances of two people having the same DNA profile is 30,000 millions to 1, means the one can be same. That is also only in monozygotic twins. Now biological materials which are utilized in case of DNA profiling, that is blood can be used. Here we utilize the WBCs. Hair can be used, saliva can be used, semen can be used, body tissue cells can be used. DNA samples obtained from the vaginal cells can also be utilized for DNA fingerprinting. The pattern of the DNA profile is then compared with those of the victim and that of the suspect. If the profile of the two matches, then there is a strong evidence that the suspect was present at the crime scene. If the profile don't match, then the suspect then the suspect may be eliminated from the inquiry. So in case of the murder, forensic team can take the blood sample from the crime scene. Then they prepare the DNA profiles as I have told you by the process. The victim and the suspect can be found out. So this is an example. Suppose this is the blood sample from the crime place and this is the victim's profile and this is the suspect profile. If these are matching, therefore the crime at the this is the suspect, then the this profile of the suspect is resembling that of the blood sample from the crime scene. So it clears that this suspect was present at that site. DNA profiles can be used to determine whether the particular person is the parent of the child. Paternity maternity disputes can be solved by DNA profiling. Child's paternity, that is the father, and maternity, the mother, they can be found out. The information can be used to find out the paternity suits, inheritance case, immigration cases can be found out. So here, to know whether is this man the father of the child, So if it resembles the DNA of the child resembles that of the man, then the child is the son of that man. So here there is no resemblance, so this child is not this child this man is not the child's father. So besides these personal this DNA fingerprinting is used for personal identification, to solve various types of insurance claims, also to find the close relation of an immigrants. So these are the practical applications of DNA fingerprinting. Thank you.